Welcome back to another episode of Shabbat Shmooze. This week's Parsha is Parshat Yitro. It is the Parsha of Matan Torah. That moment didn't just change history, but it defined who we are as Jews forever. There's a pasuk in Parshat Yitro that actually tells us, basically, this is the guidebook, the handbook of how we are meant to live forever and ever, even before receiving the Torah. Before Hashem gives us the Aseret HaDibrot, He tells us something first, something a little shocking, something totally identity defining. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, "V'atem tihiyu li mamlechet kohanim v'goy kadosh," and you shall be to me a kingdom of princes and a holy nation. Not servants, not followers, not subjects, royalty. Hashem says, before I give you the Torah, I need you to know who you are. You are children of a king. And this is the point of all of Yiddishkeit. You know, when we received the Torah by Har Sinai, it wasn't just about laws. It was really about identity. Hashem didn't start off by saying, do not steal, keep Shabbat, honor your parents, thou shalt not covet. Before that, Hashem says, you are a mamlechet kohanim, royalty, holy, elevated. You are different than the rest of the nations because you are children of a king. And we discover that the Torah works best when you remember who you are. Not to say, oh, I keep the mitzvot because I have to. Yitro teaches us, I keep mitzvot because this is who I am. A princess doesn't act with dignity because of rules. The princess acts with dignity because she knows she's a princess and her father is the king. So this is the secret of Yitro. There's an incredible story, a true story about a woman who is now, let me not give you the spoiler, let me give you the story, the backstory. She lived in Paris after the war and she was an orphan. She was alone. Her entire family perished in the war. She was taken in by a non-Jewish family and she was raised completely secular. She didn't even remember the Shema. She didn't know Shabbat. She really didn't know anything. Her name was Sarah. At 18 years old, Sarah enlisted in a university, and while she was there, totally secular, she met a Jewish girl who happened to be wearing a Magen David necklace. And very curious, she said, "Why do you wear that?" And the girl said, "Because I'm Jewish." And right then Sarah froze. And she said she had this faint memory, like a glimpse of her childhood, with her mother covering her eyes in front of her children, saying Shema with them. And all of a sudden, this flashback started to haunt her. She went home and she searched and she researched and she found an old box of belongings in her attic. And she went through this old box and she found at the very, very bottom a crumpled piece of paper. And on that paper, in a Yiddish-French mix, her mother had written one sentence. Now, I don't speak Yiddish, but I'm trying to do as best as I can for this pasuk. The sentence that was written on this crumpled paper at the bottom of the box was, Mein Kein, vergiss nicht, as du bist a Yiddische Bas Malach. My child, never forget, you are a Jewish princess. That line changed her life forever. She began searching for more and yearning for more and learning and speaking to Rebbeim. Within 1 year, she was keeping Shabbat. Within 2 years, she was totally frum, and she later moved to Eretz Yisrael, got married to Talmid Chacham, and built a beautiful Torah home where she hosts people, children from all walks, and reminds them that she didn't become religious because someone told her what to do. She became religious because she remembered who she was. And that, my friends, is everyone's spiritual homework for this week. For this week, before you react to anything, before you make a business deal, before you speak to your child, before you greet somebody, before you deal with your husband, before you do anything, no rules, no musar, no guilt. Remember who you are. You are a bat melech. And ask yourself, how would a princess react in this situation? How would a prince deal with this person? And as long as you remember who you are, that is going to be your Har Sinai moment. V'atem tihiu li mamlechet kohanim v'goy kadosh. Hashem is reminding us, before I give you the rules and the laws, let me just break it down. You are royalty and you are holy. Act accordingly. Love you all. Wishing you a wonderful, happy, healthy Shabbat Shalom.